Morning, class. Today we're going to discuss science safety in a laboratory setting. The first thing that's really important when you do a lab is that you need to make sure that you spend some time reading the materials, the things that you need to get out, reading the safety precautions, what materials you'll need to stay safe, and then reading the procedure, the step-by-step list of instructions that are important for the lab. You should not begin a lab without understanding the procedure and reading it first. A lot of times in labs when we're working with chemicals, we need to protect our eyes. To do this, we simply put on our goggles. These safety goggles are going to protect our eyes from chemicals or things that might get into our eyes during the experiment. It's important that we don't wear them as necklaces or headbands, but we keep them on our eyes at all times. I have to get them off though, just for this lesson. Whew, a little tight. Okay. Next thing we need to do is we need to make sure if something does happen while we're following the procedure and we do break glass, that we need to put it in the garbage the proper way. So we don't actually put it in the garbage that you use for paper. We have a special broken glass box in the back of the room. I left it there because I wanted you to know if you are in class where it is located. That's where we put broken glass. But it is important. Please do not touch the glass. I don't want you to cut yourself. I will protect you. Please raise your hand and let me know that it broke, and I will clean it up properly. The next thing we have to worry about in science lab is when we are using a hot plate. I'm sure you can understand based on its name. It's hot. Okay, so we might use a protective. Always have our goggles on for this. Okay. We might use a protective glove, okay, that's made out of plastic in order to make sure that we do not burn ourselves. It's also important that if you use and you're heating up like a test tube, that you never have your face or your hair, okay, so have your hair tied back. You don't want it to go up in flames or get chemicals on that. And another important thing is if you are asked to possibly smell a substance, okay, you need to make sure that you never smell it directly. You want to waft, okay, which is just simply taking your hand and kind of putting that air that's over the liquid so that you don't hurt that sensitive nose. Okay, let's keep on going. If for some reason there is a spill, okay, we do have some paper towels over here. We also have our sink, okay, where you can wash your hands if it got on you. And we do have some cleaners if you need that, okay? Again, if there's a spill, please let me know. It is important that I have that information, okay? Since we do experiments in here, it's super important that we never, ever have our lunch or our snack inside the classroom. It is never acceptable to eat inside of a classroom. You never know what was happening before. If something were to get into your eye, which I know would not happen because you'll be wearing these super duper goggles, you will be using something called an eye wash. Now we have this eye wash over here, okay? And it is, again, to prevent any sort of chemicals that get into your eye from making some permanent damage. So you don't want to do that. You want to clean them as soon as possible. But other classrooms do have, especially when you get to chemistry, this item. Okay, this is actually called a safety shower, where you would pull down that little triangle ring, and if you had a chemical spilled on top of you, that would protect you and you could get it off. The eye wash in this case is actually on the bottom. Okay, it's something for you to know. You'll see it when you get to high school in the chemistry. That's important. What if we have a fire? Okay, well, I have three items that we need to know about. One is the fire blanket. Okay, we keep it in the back of the room so you know if you ever are in need of it, you are going to stop, drop, and roll. Yes, you've heard this before. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the blanket out, and this is if you yourself is on fire. You're going to wrap it around yourself and try to smother that fire, and then you're going to stop, drop, and roll. If there's a fire in the classroom, okay,